What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ season preview for the Anaheim Ducks going into the 2015-2016 season. Uh, the Ducks were, projected to be in the Stanley Cup final, went to Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals and lost to the eventual champs, the Chicago Blackhawks. No shame in that, but you got to look at what can they do this season to get back to the Western Conference Final and maybe and break through. Losing Bolesky and a couple other guys, kind of bit players. I mean, I'm not gonna call Francois Beauchemin a bit player, but they more or less replaced him the same day. But they traded Kevin Bieksa, so that's kind of a wash. And then the thing with Bolesky is, good player, yes, but I think more product of playing with some great players, and the way they've made acquisitions and got different guys you can plug in there. And I think they've quote unquote replaced him pretty well. And Chris Stewart and Santarelli, they're both hard to trot for at the trade deadline. Teams wanted them, and then neither one really did a whole lot down the stretch. So Anaheim got them on the cheap, which for a team that's got to deal with the salary cap is important. And then this is kind of a I don't call it a make or break year, but Lindholm, Vatanen, Anderson, Gibson. There's a few big contracts they've got to pay at the end of the season. So this team could look very, very different this time next summer. It's just the reality situation. I'm not saying they'd have a Blackhawks like purge in 2010, but you never know. You got to do what you can to keep your team competing and keep your team, on the top rung of the NHL. So I like the Kyle Hagelin acquisition. I was an Emerson Edom fan coming out of juniors, and showed flashes, but when you're trying to win the Stanley Cup, you want consistency. You want a guy that's going to contribute, night in night out basis, not show you something one night and not be there the next. So I wouldn't say that so much as gave up on Edom as much as they got a guy who can kind of plug into that hole and give you what you're getting out of him every night, and that speed on the wing is going to be important. I really want to see what him and Cogliano do killing penalties together. That speed's really going to screw up a few a few point men. So, there'll be transition opportunities going the other way with the way they can generate turnovers with their speed. So, excited for that. Ryan Kessler signed him to a contract extension this summer. I wasn't happy. I don't say I wasn't happy about it, but I didn't like the deal. I thought they overpaid and gave him too much term. But we'll see how that shakes up. Nate Thompson will be hurt going into the year. Well, is hurt. Won't be ready until probably December, January. That's part of the reason Santarelli signing was such a good, shrewd move. Plug them in there, see what happens. They've got some good players in the organization. They've really got, I think, underrated farm system. And with between guys like Shea Theodore, Nick Kerdiles, they have assets to make a move at the deadline if they choose to do it. And they've shown a willingness to roll the dice. I mean, I thought the Simone Dupree trade last year was a very, very good move. Lovejoy was what he is, and Dupree really showed some pretty good flashes with the Ducks. So the goalie situation between Gibson, Anderson, and Hudobin, I think one of them gets moved, or you think Gibson in the minors to start the year, which is a possibility. Don't get me wrong for a second, but I just think you have an asset there if you want to flip them, and I don't think you'll be able to afford both of them. So that's something to keep an eye on. It's really just there's a lot of moving parts with this team, and I think to be able to have the flexibility, have the ability to add to an already great team, is going to make the Ducks one of the favorites in the Western Conference. And I think the hot seat is on for Bruce Boudreau. To lose Game 7 for 3 straight years at home, it's a little bit Brucey, and we'll see how that affects his psyche going into the season. I don't think it will. I think the Ducks have established themselves as a great regular season team, and they've had some playoff runs, but just not since they won the Cup in 2007. They've broken through and gone to the Stanley Cup Final. So this is going to be the year. There's going to be a lot of eyes on them. They've got a very, very talented group, probably the best group of forwards in the Western Conference. And you got to be able to go there and compete every night, and hopefully win that Pacific Division, get home ice clinched early, and take care of business from there. But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think there are going to be moves to be made. the goalie situation is one of those intriguing ones I'm keeping my eye on. I've been a John Gibson guy since he was with the development team, but if they choose to go Freddie Anderson, he's shown he can play as well. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for episodes for the off season and beyond. Later, guys.